Welcome back to BS Sports Talk, running back boomer bust for week 2.
Yeah, week 2. We'll start with the Boons.
Yeah.
We got the tandem. I think it's just the whole backfield is what we'll say.
Yes.
With Indy, we got Jonathan Taylor, Nyheim Hines.
Absolutely.
Both looked really good week 1 when Mac went down.
Yep. I think both are going to see a nice little uptick in volume. Max touches are going to be gone, and it's a favorable matchup against the Vikings.
Yeah.
The Vikings defense looked bad last week against Green Bay, and Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams getting the ball catches out of the backfield. I look for Taylor and Hines to have both of them to have a nice week. Hines is more of a flex play for me. Yeah. Taylor is more of a RB2 with RB1 potential in my opinion, but as you guys know, I am a Jonathan Taylor believer. Yeah. So play both.
I'm really interested. Yeah, I think they both are definitely fantasy relevant.
Absolutely.
We'll both put up above flex.
Yep.
Or at or above flex numbers.
Yeah.
And I'm so interested to see how the game plan is this week because last week after Mac went down, we saw both got carries. It was interesting because things that you would think Jonathan Taylor would get more of the red zone looks.
Yeah.
But you had Nyheim Hines getting some of those looks.
He did.
And had the touchdown. And then you would think that Hines would just be the receiver.
Yep.
But Taylor had 6 targets, 6
catches.
receptions. So, it's like, man, and they even said, coming out.
Explosive with the ball.
They said that they'll split. It's not going to be just Jonathan Taylor, first 2 downs and no passing attempts or targets and just Nyheim Hines on third down passing situations. I think it really is either who's tired, who's the hot hand, or just a healthy mix. Like, all right, this is your drive, Jonathan Taylor.
Yep.
Or if, you ran it 60 yards down the field on 5 attempts, all right, you're tired, we put Hines in, vice versa. I think it's definitely they think they got 2 good guys here.
Agree. Taylor's coming in listed at 13.
Yeah.
So, good spot, but I think he has top 10 potential. Yeah. Nyheim Hines is ranked running back 25th.
Yeah, I think he's the definite potential for boom there.
A dark horse top 15 candidate there.
Yep.
I like Hines' potential.
Yep. Next up, Chris Carson.
Yeah.
He's at 16.
Ranked 16th after the week. Yeah. Now I get it. They did not throw. They threw him the ball a lot. He didn't run a lot.
Yep.
But Atlanta was giving up so many passing yards. What were you supposed to do? And with his production from week 1 catching the ball, that's equally as impressive to me as him rushing the ball. So this is, a PPR format. Yep. Carson to me has a chance against New England.
Yep.
I think you could see top 10, top 8 numbers out of him.
I agree.
I like where he's at in that Seattle offense.
Yep, for sure. Next up, Josh Kelly. At 39.
Yeah.
So I feel like, he was 28th last week.
Yeah.
But I feel like having another week to game plan, they know that he is going to be involved. And I feel like they're going to have to put Eckler more in that Eckler role. I just don't see Eckler getting those 19 rush attempts and no or 1 target. I just don't. I don't see that.
The only concern I have with a Josh Kelly is they're playing Kansas City.
Yep.
And now you could see them run the ball 50 times to keep Patrick Mahomes on the sideline. So there is potential there with Josh Kelly. If it turns into a track meet, I wonder how much we see Josh Kelly.
Yep.
But if they can keep Kansas City off the field, it's going to be running the ball, and Josh Kelly and Eckler will have touches.
Yeah, I think, especially just it's where he's so low at 39.
39.
I mean, he's not going to be a top 10 back, but I think he definitely outperforms 39.
I agree with that. Especially if you need flex plays, if you're riddled with injuries early, if you're a Godwin, Thomas type of guy, and A.J. Brown on your team. If you're hurting, you have multiple injuries stacked up, and you need a deep sleeper, Josh Kelly can easily outperform his 39th rank.
Yep. Next up, James White.
Yeah.
He's at 27. Didn't look 100% great last week, but with the game flow, they were ahead. It's they're still trying to figure out that offense and what Cam's going to do. Cam rushed it 15 times. I think he's definitely going to be in. It's going to be a higher scoring game this week. I think he's going to be in line for a lot more targets.
Yeah, I think that in order for New England to keep up, Cam can't rush 15 times.
Yeah, I just don't see it happening.
He's going to need to throw 25 to 30 times this game to keep up with Seattle. I think
you got to throw that to. You can't throw it every single play to Julian Edelman.
And I think that James White could see 7, 8, 9, 10 targets this game.
Yeah.
Cam Newton will check down the running backs. He's not afraid, and James White can make magic happen. So, nice little sneaky flex play, ranked 27th in running backs. I could see him finishing a little bit higher than that.
Yeah.
Top 20 potential. So James White, if you need to play him in the flex, definitely play him in the flex.
Yep. Another one, last one for the Booms. Zach Moss for the Bills. He's coming in at 29th.
Yep.
Didn't have the greatest yards per carry last week, but got the red zone looks.
Yes,
he did have the touchdown, and going back watching the game, he had another one where he's tackled at the 1, so that could have been another touchdown.
A couple more opportunities for him to get in there.
And he was targeted in the end zone, and he was open at first, but Josh Allen hesitated, waited too late to throw the ball, was knocked down. So he potentially could have had a 3-touchdown day.
He could have had a great day.
And Miami last year gave up the 6th most rushing yards last year. So I say take, and it's a game where they can get ahead early. The way that Josh Allen's looking, get up early, try to run out that clock in the second half. I think Zach Moss could be a sneaky flex play this week.
Absolutely.
All right, so now on to the bust.
Let's go to our running back bust of the week.
Couple here. So Josh Jacobs is a big one. We might get some BS on this. This might be a BS one.
So Josh Jacobs is my personal selection. He's going into the week ranked RB9. I don't like him there. He's going against the Saints. I think that you're going to see the Vegas Raiders get down a little early. And that Saints defense was good. Ronald Jones had some yardage, but he wasn't great. Josh Jacobs needed 25 carries for 90-some yards last week, and that 3 touchdowns. Otherwise, you're looking at Josh Jacobs as having an average week. I could see him falling outside the top 10 this week. Now, I'm not saying terrible.
Well, with me, I said I'm gonna call a little bit of BS on that. It's one of those. I don't think he's gonna have a top 5 performance. And again, like you said, they're playing the Saints. They have said that they want to get him more involved in that passing game,
and that's where I think the only opportunity is for him to exceed my expectations.
Well, that I think goal line. If they're driving down the field, there's no one else on that team inside the red zone or the 10. To where you're giving it to. I think he gets those looks. So it's one of those, I think, that they are going to be able to drive the ball down the field a little bit. I don't think he's a top 10, but I think he finishes around that 9th, 10th spot. I think that...
I see more around, top 15, falling a little bit out of that top 9 spot. I'm not loving Jacobs' matchup this week, especially with the amount of volume he'll need and to keep up with. The New Orleans Saints.
We'll see. We'll have to check it out. After on Monday. All right. Next bust, James Conner. Coming in at he's at the 20th, but still isn't crazy high.
But I just don't see him finishing top 20.
I agree. I think that's high for James Conner. We're dealing with the weird kind of injury. Kind of stuff going on where he was injured but wasn't. Well, they said he was injured but he wasn't on the list.
I'm curious what really went on there.
And then Benny Snell looked good.
Benny Snell looked really good running the ball. Denver's probably going to be a little bit of a tough matchup. Derrick Henry had to run the ball a lot to get his yards. Does James Conner hold up for the hits that went on in that game? I don't know, and I don't know if he starts to struggle if he continues to play with Benny Snell, with Jalen Samuels. I just don't love James Conner as a top 20 running back. I know that you drafted him to be an RB2, so chances are you're going to need to play him unless you snuck in and stole Hines off waiver wire or something like that.
If it comes down this week between if you have Nyheim Hines and James Conner
or Benny Snell,
I think I'm going Nyheim Hines.
I'm going Hines. Yes, I'm going Hines.
Yeah, for sure.
So another boost that I have for this week is Austin Eckler.
Coming in at the 10 spot.
I see the talent there, but Anthony Lynn came out and reaffirmed that he will still see very minimal targets. I hope he's lying.
I just don't see why. I don't understand it.
Yeah, he said with the new offense that they have, the scheme, it's for pocket protection and moving in the pocket, not as many checkdowns. Get that out of here. Just do what works.
Then why have him?
Right. Why'd you pay him and let Melvin Gordon walk?
Right. Yeah, if that's the case, so you don't want to pass as much and run the ball more, I'm like, all right, let's get what we can out of Eckler and keep Gordon.
I want to see Eckler catch the ball 5, 6, 7 times. I don't want 19 carries. If they rely on him to just run the ball 19, 20 carries again, he's not finishing top 10. It's not that he doesn't have the potential, but I feel his biggest asset is receiving the ball.
For sure.
I like Austin Eckler. RB10 this week. I'm a little scared just based off of what Anthony Lynn said. I hope he's lying to me.
Yeah.
I hope he's lying to you.
Yeah.
I hope Eckler gets plenty of catches this week.
Yeah, call him BS on that 10 spot, though. I just with what they're saying and how they're going to use him, I just don't see him as a top 10 back.
Not a fan either. Not a fan, guys.
Yep, so that's it for the bus and booms
Yep.
for the running backs week 2.
Yep.
Thanks for
Yep.
tuning in.
Appreciate it. Likes, share, and subscribe. Appreciate you guys.